Hello, Froggy here, and today I'll be showing you how to get to the Dreaming City from the moon. Now, that might sound a little clickbaity, but not nearly as much as you'd think. You see, in Season of the Hunt, Bungie actually brought a piece of the Dreaming City to the moon from the intro mission, where you first meet Crow. So, anyways, the first thing we're going to need to do is get out of the start of Pit of Heresy. We'll be needing this because we need to use its auto-reses as part of our Interdimensional Rez Breaching. So we just need to make it over the top of this. And sadly, until we leave this area, there are no sparrows, so it's going to be a little bit of a walk. A lot of different people helped out in figuring out where exactly we had to go for this. I had a bunch of people help me triangulate the location of some odd structures we saw, and others help map out potential other areas to use for the glitch. It's kind of an interesting technique there where we broke out of the box and used a sparrow to add a map indicator where we wouldn't otherwise have one. So anyways, when you get to the Circle of Bones, you're going to want to go to the left here, because we're heading to the Catacombs. You can do this on any character, but as almost always, Titan will probably be the easiest. You're going to have to go down and hit the load first, and at that point you have two options. If you're not on Titan, you'll probably need to stasis climb this pole to get to the stalactite that'll be up there. Now, if you're on a Titan, you can just fly over from the top of the stairs here, like I'm about to do. So, just going to climb up here to get some nice height. And you don't need much ammo, like a jump and a swing will probably do. So there's the little area we're landing on. And just walk to about the edge and die. And that will finish step 1 of the Interdimensional Rez Breach. Now we just need to get ourselves to Shrine of Oryx for step 2, dying to the load zone. The best way to do that is probably to get out in the zone before it. There is a hole you can use to get out in Shrine of Oryx itself, but it's a lot more riskier than we need, and with the champions that can be in this area, the path is risky enough. If you die, you'll need to start over and reset your death point in the Catacombs. So now we've made it to Hall of Wisdom. And Henry showed me a nice out of map in this section. Just going to head back as though we're going into Archer's Line. And there is a kind of slanted pole that makes for a good landmark once we get there. You can see it right here, and a little bit past that, there is a hole in the rock. So there's the slanty pillar, and here's the hole. So we're just going to turn back and fly the way we came, and this will let us get back towards the Shrine of Oryx. That load zone can be a little tricky to hit and die. So you might end up having to try this a couple times, but as long as you don't die to the Hall of Wisdom load. You're free to retry as many times as you need. Before I switched to this route, I was doing a rather circuitous path from out of map in the gatehouse. So resetting that one was much more painful. I find it's most consistent to skip the loop and hit the load from the other side. I was very finicky hitting it, and I'd say maybe a quarter of the time doing this I end up loading normally and having to go through the somewhat scary process of triggering this load. If you want to be really safe, you could just jump around and load it on the inside and take the hole again, but you know, 70% of the time it works every time. So where is this exactly? I'll give you a little idea of it. So here I am on top of Shrine of Oryx, and you can see that odd structure in the distance. There's another one here, but we didn't even know that was solid until we actually got out there and touched it. Our destination's over there. So now Henry is going to hit the auto-res. And here we are. This strange, solid platform. And now let's get Henry out here. Luckily, with this glitch in general, it's easy to get the entire fire team out. So let's take a brief look around here before we try to go any further. The staircase that you can see from the outside is actually 4 staircases, so that's neat. And there's a whole little inside area. I have no idea why it's here, so let me know if you have any ideas. It is a quite unusual little structure. Now we just need to make it to our target. It's a bit like spotting a snow hare in a blizzard, but luckily it casts a shadow. And much like with moonlight, you'll see it best out of the corner of your eyes. You can kind of see the little bit of darkness below me if you pay attention to that blob of pixels. And whenever I want to get a better idea, I kind of tilt to the side and it brings it into focus for a little bit. It might help to have a higher FOV set for this particular flight. There is a box around it, so if you try to fly level and get into it from the side, you will almost certainly die. So you're going to want to drop from above like I'm doing here. Getting pretty close here, so we start dropping down. We'll need to catch ourselves to make sure we don't die hitting the ground, because that would be silly. Any moment now. We've got the spooky noises. Coming into focus. And there we go. We got the turn back for the box. And we've made it. So you'll probably recognize the Dreaming City architecture at the very least. This is identical to the Dark Monastery area in the Week 3 mission for the Dreaming City. It's the one where you destroy the crystal and run out as everything collapses. I'm helping Henry get over here. It is much easier to spot if you have someone here already, so if you've got a fire team member, it might be nice to help them out with a landmark. A little lighthouse in this bubble of darkness. Well, now that Henry's here, we can take a look at this place and see how it compares to the one in the Dreaming City. So it's annoyingly dark, so we're gonna go ahead and activate the unlimited ghost light glitch. And I've gone ahead and overlaid about the same route on the Dreaming City side so you can see how they compare. If you're not familiar with the ghost light glitch, you right-click something in your quest pool, then hit M twice and once again to close it. So you can see this is identical to the area in the Dreaming City, which would probably be more visible if I were able to more accurately recreate these movements. But I didn't take the macro route, so you'll have to settle for somewhat similar. I do wonder if the moon area is supposed to be the same place, or if it was just a convenient ascendant bubble to grab. It did strike me a little bit odd that Savathun's little foothold in the Dreaming City is being used by Xivu Arath. But who knows? I am not quite a lore expert. Almost feels like it's easier to see in the moon version despite all the fog. Just a bit less going on. I do like this little bridge area, even though you don't really get to go to it. And the dead tree. Well, before we head out, I should go back and take a look at this weird thing over here. You can't actually see it too well. I just gotta line it up from the corners again. And let's go see what we've got. Similar to the other platform, I have no idea what this one is about. Unfortunately, it is in the edge of the box, so we can't really run around it as much as I might like to. Henry found that you can actually stand on the very edge safely, but of course I missed the bullseye there, so let's go ahead and do that one again. It is the moon after all, and we've got to win the crater game. There we go. A perfect shot. Well, I hope you enjoy exploring this Ascendant Realm. It's not one I ever thought we were going to get to. But then again, this is a very powerful glitch.